I'm Jeanette Keynes from Jewelry Arts Inc. And in this video, I'm going to show you some salvage techniques for moving a bezel back that slipped during construction. Okay, so boo-boos in the studio. These are things that happen. So you can see we have this lovely brass ring and with these silver bezels. And when Beth, who asked not to be named, but it's too late, I just named her.
She who shall not be named.
Yes, she who shall not be named, soldered the little rosette on. You can see this bezel kind of slid down in there. And it's really not in a spot where we're going to be able to set that very successfully. And also it would probably bonk into her finger too much. So we have a couple options. One is just to pop it out of there and file away the excess and put in another bezel. And that's possible that we'll end up doing that. But before we do that, we're going to see if I can heat it and flatten it back out and get it in a better position, which is, it's a 50-50 shot. We'll see what happens. It's tricky when the solder's only holding in one place. It's not so hard to reflow it and move things. But when you have multiple connections and they all need to be liquid at the same time to be able to move it, it's definitely fussy. But we're going to take you along on this adventure and see where we get. So since this is brass though, we're going to use the fire coat on it. So I'm going to fire coat it and I'm going to set this up and we're going to use paste flux on this one and, you know,
Give it our best shot.
give it our best shot.
Get this out of the way, excuse me.
See what happens. And you know, the fire coat is just to protect the brass because it gets that coppery finish on it that we don't want to have to sand off every time we heat this baby up.
It's a little tricky back here with this fan.
With the wind tunnel, you mean?
It is. That is.
So fun.
I love it.
Oh, the green glow. Do you have a, will you hand me the paste flux, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And what I'm going to do to try to help myself in this case is I'm going to set this up in the third arm so that hopefully when I press down on that, if I can get it to move properly, it'll just rest against here and won't just, you know, get again in a weird position that won't help us.
Okay, but here's my question. How are we going to prevent the other solder from flowing?
We're kind of far away from there, so we probably won't have an issue. Once I set this up, if I look at it and I feel suspicious, we'll put a little ochre on those other seams.
This out of the way. This out of the way. Would you like me to turn this fan off?
You can if you want.
I know how. Ooh. How's that, Susie?
Oh, it's so much quieter.
That's so much better.
Don't mind me, I'm just thinking deep thoughts about how I want to set this up so that it behaves itself.
I have a very thin third arm locking tweezer rather. Would this help as some sort of heat sink?
Maybe, can't hurt. I like to have all the tools at my disposal. Okay, so that's good at least. So now,
And here's another one if you need it.
thank you.
Those are my best tools. Those two.
So I think what I need is something thin underneath here that's level so that it won't go down all the way through.
Right. Thin and level. Would you put this
It's attached. No, because that's not level.
I mean, like this end maybe? No.
Its whole purpose in life is to be level. What can I use? What can I use?
It's too good. Steel block.
I think the steel block is too thick, but
What do we got here? Well, this might be good. I don't know what that is, but
It's like a skate key, a huge skate key.
actually that is exactly right, because you see
Wow.
what I mean? Because if I get this to move, what it's going to want to do is going to just go then, you know what I mean? And I don't want it to fall all the way down in there. So actually that's exactly what I want. So you see what I'm going to do, because I'm going to heat this, hopefully get the solder to flow, and press on it right here and try to like straighten it out. Which, like I said, will,
if anyone can do it, you can do it.
well, I appreciate the vote of confidence.
Yeah.
And there's no point in not trying, or as you know.
However, here's my question. Should we add these? You're going to focus your heat on that?
Yeah.
That's probably okay
Do you have any ochre?
then. I have Noker.
Excellent. So what I will do as a precautionary measure is I'll put some on the other doodahs, like the little rosette that's right in the middle, and that just, you know, in case of. And I'm not going to be super exact with my application.
That's how you're going to get it in there.
Because I'm going to be far enough away that it doesn't really matter.
Boy,
You know what I'm saying?
that's a genius. See, something like trying to get the toothpick in there.
No, there's
and
times where you
getting
need to
in.
really be surgical with it, but fortunately for us, that's far enough away that actually we don't need to be super surgical with it. And you know, the reason that we're using something to protect it is, you know, things that are up in the air love to move. Exhibit A, they just do. They're like, I can move and I will. Just dry them off a tiny bit.
Things are just moving too well here.
Yeah, you know. When you don't want them to move, they move. When you want them to move, not so much. So it's just how it goes. The key is to always expect that things will go wrong. And if you expect that,
I think I got coffee because nothing went wrong up till now. That's really what happened.
yeah, I understand.
Oh,
And then you're like, "Psst, I got this. I got this. I was trying to put a jump ring on last week and that motherfucker moved right in the middle. I tried to move it, and like, that's something I've done 100
jump
times, a million times. I had to cut that shit off, file it, and do another one. I was like, you little bastard. You know? But what can you do?
That's how it goes.
All right, so I put a little of that there. With any luck, that'll be enough to keep them in place.
Okay, I want to see how you set this up because
Well, that's it. I've
my
set it up.
imagination is
It's set up.
oh, just how I thought
Set
it.
it.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
I'm going to switch this, though, I think, to a 0 tip.
Oh, very radical.
Well, I don't know. I'm a little concerned that the one is so big that it'll spread my heat out too much, and I want to be very local in there. So,
Did you put the Noker on the rosette in the middle?
I did.
Of course you did. What kind of question is that?
A sensible one. So I'm going to be heating this section right here, and like I said, so what I'm hoping for is I can get all the solder to flow at the same time. I can push on it right here and kind of level it out. The hardest part is about getting it all of it to flow at the same time, which is not
for the
super
faint of
easy.
heart.
You know, one spot of solder, that's not such a big thing.
Well, hey, I managed to do it. You can do it.
It's always when you're
That
not
was the
trying.
problem. What's that?
It's always when you're not trying.
Yeah. Exactly. Flow, baby, flow.
I might switch it out to the big one. Oh, yeah, baby. Okay, hold on. One more. We gotta just flatten that right there, and then it's all peaches and sunshine.
You think you need to add any more solder?
Maybe, but basically we get it in place, and then we'll pickle it and we'll look at it. And if it needs more,
So you don't want to add any more right now?
well, maybe.
Because here, I don't have balls, I have these
Yes, but you see
squares.
how we're focusing on one thing at a time. The thing that's right in front of us, like that.
Oh, Jeanette!
Oh, stop. Thank you.
What is that thing you're using?
That's a piece of debris that we found laying around the studio that happened to be metal and of the right height so that I could press on that.
And level.
So I don't, it looks like it's part of a chair.
Well, I thought it was actually, I thought you were going to give me some very exotic names.
Gonna put it on
No.
the jewelry
No,
art
basically,
tool site.
I needed something that I could press on the bezel, get it in place, but if I didn't have that there, it would have sunk too low.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
needed something flat and metal, and our steel blocks are all too high, and the tweezers are all tapered. But we found this apparatus right here. And there you go.
It's gonna be online at jewelryarttools.com.
Yeah, there you go. So actually, maybe you can do a little close-up of that. So you see how now, because I had that to press against, the top of the bezel is nice and level. I would stop and pickle this, and if we need to add more solder, we will. But I got it pretty crusty, so I feel like I wouldn't really want to add more solder now. If it needs it, I'd get it clean first.
Yeah.
But my prediction is that we don't need any more solder. If you, I don't know, can you see from the back? Oh, let me try to hold it level. That looks filled in to me. I know it's all dirty and skunky looking, but it looks to me like it's all filled in.
Hard when there's all that fire coat in
Yes.
there. It's really hard to see
Yeah.
clearly.
So let it cool, pickle it, and we will take a good look at it. But, and I mean, if we need to add more solder, that's no big deal.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, miscellaneous chair piece.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. There we go.
Your work here.
I'm gonna leave it there just in case. You know.
Yeah, I think
So here's an extreme close-up, but the bezel is fixed, solder has flowed, it doesn't need any more. Life is good. All our repairs should go so well.
Ben, what are you taking that picture for? Wait till it's done.
It's too long,
Don't
right?
tell me. Look how good this looks. I just want to show the whole thing, you know, because this is the one that we moved right up here. Right there. But it looks fantastic. I guess Beth has a tiny bit of spiffing up to do, and then she's gonna get ready to set.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do.
Mm-hmm. Hubba hubba.
Looks so good.
You're the main guinea pig. Deal with it. I just wanted to show off how beautifully this ring came out. So basically now it's pretty much cleaned up. The only thing that's next is setting the stones, but just wanted to show it off. Success.